and pay nothing until they win. Call 800-500-5200, 800-500-5200, or sweetjames.com.
The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
This is my business. I started it, and my hard work made it successful. We survived the last year, and things are starting to look better, but now hard work alone isn't enough. I need cash to hire some people and buy supplies. Loan Me Business is for people like you. We can loan your business from $6,000 up to $250,000. And we understand that you don't need the cash soon. You need it now. And if your credit isn't perfect, that's okay. Apply today and you can have the money in your account tomorrow. Loan Me Business loans have longer terms, keeping your monthly payments low and manageable. You can even pay the loan off early to control your costs with no prepayment penalties. That sounds great. Simply go to loanmebiz.com to get started. That's loanmebiz.com or call 844-3-LOAN-ME. Not all applicants will qualify. Approval and terms subject to credit standards. See loanme.com for details. Loans made pursuant to California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation Law License 603K061. That's 844-3-LOAN-ME or loanmebiz.com.
Hey, Californians, it's here. Election day is tomorrow. Plan your vote today. Make your vote your voice. Find out more at vote.ca.gov. That's vote.ca.gov. A message from the California Secretary of State.
With record low interest rates, is it still wise to pay off your home, or has it become unwise? Wall Street says money never sleeps. Well, your home equity is in a coma. It's earning zero. Record low interest rates have created enormous opportunity for homeowners to borrow equity and move into alternative investments. It may have made a lot of sense when interest rates are 6 or 8% to make it your highest priority to pay your home off. But with these record low rates, it's no longer wise. It's a timeless understanding that buying low and selling high is the way to gain wealth. How about borrowing low and investing in higher returns? Call HMS Capital today. With their razor-sharp interest rates, they're confident they're going to earn your business. No appraisal fee, no application fee. So phone them up right away. 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. That's 833-255-5698. Or visit hmscapital.com.
Owning a business comes with pressure. There's a limit to what I can do and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put 30-plus years of HR experience to work to help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance, while giving my employees competitive benefit options. And because I'm able to focus on other priorities, my employees can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
The stars from all genres of music will share one stage at our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival. The T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 nights of performances you've never seen before. Streaming free on CWF and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio this Friday and Saturday, starting at 7 p.m.
Number 1 is the proud partner of the 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to their customers. What's in your wallet?
Now, you can disagree with a person. I have zero problem with that. You can ask them and interview them and look at their policies, and you can hate them. But don't do it just based on the fact that they claim one party or the other, or disavow one party or the other. It's lazy. Jerry said it. It's a lazy way to choose who you want your representatives to be in a democracy like this. On KFI. John Gensel, John Sobel, Vince Ginopolo, Kfi Am supporters. Live everywhere. It's different. Corbin Carson after 4 o'clock posting up for Biden's appearance and Newsom enlarging the ease of people voting in person tomorrow on recall election day. At 5:05, we actually have the California gubernatorial recall election official voter information guide next to me here. If you're running to replace Gavin Newsom, there's 46 people. You can call in and get a couple minutes on the show.
This is the only opportunity we're affording anybody but who we invited on, which are the major candidates. 1-800-520-1534. That'll happen at 5:05. If you know somebody that's officially on the ballot, you can call them now and tell them to call in at 5:05 here on the John and Ken show. Oh, Alyssa reminded me of another Biden lie. Yeah, remember he said he drove a big truck? He was touring a plant. He was touring some plant, and it turns out he took a ride in his truck. Is that what happened?
That's right. But he said he used to drive a big,
Used to be like a
big truck.
operator.
You know, there's got to be a website. I'll go look. There's got to be somebody keeping track of all his whoppers.
Yeah, well, maybe you like to keep track of all Trump whoppers, so,
Yeah.
you know.
But I mean, this is a
But he's just a storyteller,
No.
John. He wasn't a dangerous man.
No, but this is a special category of experiences he never had, and they're very distinctive, right? You know, he was gonna go work for a lumber company in Idaho. He went to a synagogue in Pittsburgh. He was driving a truck. I mean, it was.
And I think he claimed he got arrested in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Mandela.
That's right. He got arrested in South Africa.
We'll play this for you from the sports world, and of course, weekends now are filled with football, college, and pro. Apparently, in a number of southern schools, if that's what it says in the story, most of them, the crowd was breaking out in a certain chant. Let's see what we have here in the audio.
Chanting, yay, Joe Biden?
Yeah, I think you can tell by that tweet. It's the S word. Apparently, this was taken from Mississippi State versus North Carolina State and Coastal Carolina versus Kansas. I have another report that it happened.
Alabama said,
Alabama, right?
yeah. Well, surprising would be
Also,
no say.
Auburn University students performed the chant during their beatdown of Alabama State, 62-0.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you get bored. Someone just starts breaking out in a chant, and it happens to be bleep Joe Biden. You
Yeah.
think it's over the new vaccine mandate thing? We're talking about states that have a little lower rates of vaccination and addicted.
Yeah, it could be the vaccine. Could be a lot of things.
Well, we're going to find out where that goes, that mandate about companies with more than 100 employees. I don't know if he's going to get away with that one.
I don't think he's got the legal authority.
Yeah,
to.
but the company can make you mad with vaccines.
The company can.
I don't,
And it may
I don't
be
think the government can tell the company to do that.
Yeah. Certainly not the federal government. I mean, maybe the states can do it.
So that's sort of where the decision was.
But you know what it is, and this is all just crass politics. He made a big deal. It was like, remember years ago when George Bush announced mission accomplished at the end of the Iraq War, and everything went to hell. Biden, 4th of July, basically gave the mission accomplished speech. And not knowing that the Delta variant was lurking to send everything to hell. And so, he looks like a fool. In fact, I saw his approval rating, according to a YouGov poll that came out today, is something like 39%. So his numbers are crashing. And when your numbers crash, you lose authority. I mean, you're not going to get stuff passed in Congress. And he's got these multi-trillion-dollar idiotic bills he wants passed, and then politicians, Congress people who are on the bubble for next year are going, wait a second, this stuff's got 39% support. No, I'm not going to spend $3 trillion. I'm not jumping on this thinking Titanic.
All right, Joe Biden in California will be at a Long Beach later. We'll talk about it coming up.
John and Ken Show, Deborah Marquez News, KFI Am 240.
An independent voice in a world full of retweets.
KFI,
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles and County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Last minute push on Deborah Mark live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. President Biden is scheduled to speak at Long Beach City College tonight to encourage voters to reject efforts to recall Governor Newsom.
The governor is also expected to speak as part of a push to get people to return their mail-in ballots before tomorrow's deadline. Mayor Robert Garcia says the president chose Long Beach because the city is a national model for its vaccine rollout, but Biden also called the mayor personally, Garcia says, when his mother died from COVID-19.
This is very, very heartwarming to me. My family was a great moment, and he gave my family and I a lot of comfort and assured us that we were going to beat this thing.
Recall supporters say Washington won't save the governor from his failures at handling crime, homelessness, and COVID-19. At Long Beach City College, Corbin Car City, KFI News.
Larry Elder, who's running in the recall election, has attended an event in Monterey Park to present a medal to a Chinese-American World War II veteran. Elder also talked about why he says Newsom should be recalled.
We've got rising crime, rising homelessness, an outrageous rise in the cost of living, declining public school standards. We now have 5 seasons here in California. The 5th one is the fire season.
Elder also says he would repeal Newsom's COVID-19 mandates. Elder says he's not anti-vaccine and has been vaccinated, but that people should be allowed to choose. The sheriff of Riverside County says he will not enforce any type of a local, state, or federal COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
Chad Bianco says the vaccine is a personal choice, and he's not anti-vax, just anti-vax for himself.
Your natural immunity provides far more protection than a vaccine. Everyone knows that. That is science. That's not bad thing.
And that's the sheriff on his own podcast. Bianco says a person's safety is the role of the sheriff, not a person's health. Bianco was also outspoken on his refusal to enforce mask mandates, claiming the rule was unconstitutional. He's Gregory Payafino.
Political donor Ed Buck is being sued by a man who survived 2 overdoses from drugs he allegedly got while at Buck's apartment in West Hollywood. Billy Brown says he met Buck online in 2019 and that Buck would send a car to pick him up from a hotel on Skid Row. Brown testified at Buck's federal trial in July in which Buck was found guilty of all 9 crimes he was charged with, including providing meth that resulted in death. Some protesters have gathered to crash the reopening of LA's new Civil, Human Rights, and Equity Department.
Protesters took aim at Mayor Garcetti and LA City Attorney Mike Stewart. Garcetti spoke to reporters after the event.
Civil rights work is not just about what we say. It's really about what we do. So there are some who might be yelling, and then there's others that are going to be doing, and like everybody's to call about.
The city's new department will investigate discrimination complaints and enforce LA's civil and human rights laws. Like Troy, KFI News.
We have a crash on the 210 in Upland.
This one's involving a motorcyclist. It's on the eastbound side before campus. The carpool lane is blocked, and delays are backing up away from Town Avenue. Head out to Hollywood with Mike O'Brien. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, Superwoman, Superlawyer.com.
Well, oddly enough, it's not so strange on the freeway. I know the city's a little different. But the Stop 101 loading up there just about Hollywood Boulevard. Very typical going into downtown Los Angeles from there. North outside of the 101, a little tight through the downtown slot. Most of us going into about Santa Monica Boulevard, and that'll be heavy up to Universal City. Some good news in Commerce. It looks like the 5 southbound just about Washington. They finally cleared that stuck vehicle from the number 2 lane. It is clear, but it is not break upping, and it looks as if it's to do so anytime soon. The South 5 gets jammed up pretty much from East LA interchange, well down towards County, until it loosens up again before the 605. 605 southbound, on the brakes there from Tech Road, most of the way through the 5, and the northbound side of the 605 to the 105, much of the way through Whittier as well. Interested in that case, visit Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
Garden Grove on the 22 eastbound away from Beach Boulevard all the way to the 5. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This hour of KFI is brought to you by Sunlux, your best value in solar for all your energy needs. Sunlux.com.
Getting a little cooler will tell you why next.
You want to sell your house fast, easy, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it as is for cash. Yeah, with Seller's Advantage, here's what you get. No realtor fees or commissions, no escrow fees, no repairs needed. There won't be any of those awful open houses. So buy your house or condo for cash. We talked with Damon and Doug from Seller's Advantage. They bought a house from one of our KFI listeners not too long ago. Guy wanted to sell. He met with a couple of real estate agents, compared the numbers, and chose Seller's Advantage. It's not hard to see why. He ended up with the same money, same bottom line. There were no repairs, no headaches, no open houses, and of course no hassles. Because working with Seller's Advantage, boy, that was the easiest real estate transaction he's ever completed. Want to sell your house? You call Seller's Advantage. See how much it's worth. You call now at the free quote. 888-321-SA. Call 888-321-SA. That's 321 as is. CRE number 0961658, sellersadvantage.com.
Take a look at your legs. Are your veins twisty, bulging, painful, and embarrassing? Mechanical offers the latest minimally invasive solution to erase varicose vein fast. Varicose veins are caused by broken bones, and they don't heal on their own, so don't wait. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for a private consultation. Treatments are covered by most PPO insurance, and they also offer great financing. Call 1-800-WEST-MED or visit westmedical.com today.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed up 262, S&P 500 up 10, NASDAQ down 10, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.39.
Bay Alarm will keep your commercial fire system in compliance so you're up to code, not up all night.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny tomorrow, highs low to mid-70s in the beaches, low to mid-80s for Metro LA, mid-80s to mid-90s in the valleys, around 86 for AOC, low to mid-90s in the IE, and cooler for Wednesday. Right now it's 86 in Orange, 68 in Huntington Beach, 96 in Northridge, and 92 in Sun Valley. We leave local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, welcome in, everybody. In 1 hour, for one of the last times, we will play the Gavin Newsom recall desk opening intro. Because tomorrow is the voting day, and we might play it on Wednesday looking at results, I guess. But, you know, this will be it. We're inviting anybody that's a part of question 2, the replacement for Newsom, to call in. We'll give you a couple minutes, maybe ask you a couple of questions. This will be your free Kfi airtime. It's a replacement for our normal hour of candidates. So today we're just doing a special on the recall. 1-800-520-1534. Not the moist one we're calling, we're calling the station. 1-800-520-1534. That'll come up in 1 hour here on the Daily Tip Show. We're going to talk about a lot of hoopla over nothing. Biden is in California. He went to Idaho first. He arrived in Sacramento a couple of hours ago, and then tonight he will be in Long Beach. Yeah. This is known as a non-news news story because it's going to be two politicians, both wildly incompetent, and they're going to utter all kinds of platitudes and cliches and nonsense. Make phrase claims. Let's get Corbin Carson. He has the honor of covering this story. Corbin, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, guys. Yeah, it's been fairly quiet for the last several hours. Lots of security, as you would expect with the president coming in. But now it's really starting to pick up. There's a lot of traffic down here at the Long Beach City College, where the president and Governor Gavin Newsom are expected to speak sometime this evening. President Biden is scheduled to land at Long Beach Airport just before 7 tonight, then head over here to the college. He'll be joined by Newsom and urge people to vote against this recall, which is tomorrow. That deadline is tomorrow. And listen, as you would expect, there are plenty of protesters who are out here rejecting I should say first, for the 4 people, I've spoken to the mayor out here who said they're rejecting the anti-vaxxers, they're defending mask mandates, they're standing up for science and protecting public health. Democrats, as you know, have brought out the heavy hitters this week. They've had, Vice President Kamala Harris out. We've had President Obama and former President Obama and Bernie Sanders on campaign ads. Lots of money's been spent, all leading up to this night with the final endorsement coming from President Biden. As we're standing here, the protesters are already starting to flood these streets.
These are vaccine protesters?
Well, no, it's the array. I've already spoken to a bunch of them. It's not just the anti-vaxxers, but you also have people that are tired of the tyranny, as they would put it, that they think that, the businesses were closed down, and many, I spoke to a woman that said she had a 40-year business, and she lost it because of the shutdowns during the business, during the pandemic.
The thing is, let's just take that woman. She's got a legitimate viewpoint. That 40-year business, Newsom closes it, and didn't have to. But she's ruined, and he goes on. He can raise $80 million and run around saying he's great. And that's not been discussed in the media. That's not been going to be discussed on stage tonight by either one of the candidates.
And
Right.
that's what makes me crazy about this. They live in this weird artificial bubble where they have this reality. It's like, I'm great, I did great, yeah, Gavin, you did great, you're great, and this woman still lost her 40-year business. She still has. Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say what's interesting is both sides here in this argument are saying the other side is ignoring science. So when you're of course you've heard about the Democrats who are saying that's why for the shutting down the businesses and the mask mandates and so forth. But many I talked to out here said they were ignoring science as far as they didn't need to shut down those businesses. They didn't need to shut down those restaurants.
They make up science. They never had to shut down outdoor dining. Ever. And Houston did that for, 2 months? During the Christmas season, Thanksgiving season? That should be addressed in detail. Why did you shut down outdoor dining when your own health director said we have no scientific evidence for it? Let's have a real adult conversation about this and not play pretend, not shout idiotic slogans at each other. Stick with the stupid slogan. No, you did. You shut down a bunch of restaurants. You shut down all the restaurants in the effing state, for God's sake. Why?
And as you say, this is not going to be discussed tonight, and a lot of people are upset about this. This is a private event that they're not being allowed in, and so they would many of the protesters out here are asking why it's a private event, and so that they could bring up some of those things. And just take a listen to some of the passion, as you know, like you said, is it just the anti-vaxxers? Again, it is so surprising, or maybe not surprising, how many people I've talked to, including the woman who lost her business, or this woman who just really elucidate their point on just a number of reasons on why they want Governor Newsom to be recalled.
There's a lot of people here that are just feeling like this is a lot of tyranny going on with the current administration with Biden, and obviously the governor of California. He's just ran us into shambles, and I think that the people are just starting to rise up and speak their voices, and just let them know that this is not how the constitutional government works, and that we the people, we have a right and a say, and we're not going to bow down to these medical tyrannies, and we're not going to continue to see California struggle the way that it is. Everything is horrible here. The homeless population, taxes, gas prices going up. We're just here to peacefully protest, to let everybody know that we stand as one, and we all just need to come together.
So that's a protest against Newsom, Biden, what? Mostly Newsom.
Of course, it's mostly Newsom, but also when I'm having these conversations, everyone is crowding around me trying to get their 2 cents in. They're shaking their head. This woman is not alone.
And if Newsom wins, all these problems are still going to be here Wednesday morning. And he hasn't done anything about them for 3 years, and he's not going to do anything about them for the rest of his term. And this is what's frustrating. We've got 70,000 people living in the streets, some of them dying in the streets. San Francisco's an open store, and the debate in the last couple of weeks is, hey, 20 years ago Larry Elder said this on his radio show, and I'm listening to this every day, and I want to slam my head against the wall. We're in the moment here. Look around at what happened to California right now. Don't tell me what somebody said 20 years ago. But the news media just lapped up whatever phony nonsense Newsom started preaching about Larry's radio show. So, Corbin, this is not a public event, this is only inviting people to indoors?
It's supposed to be indoors. I've gotten close over there to the area where they're going to be letting everybody in. I got to rush over there again to get through security after we finish talking. But again, it's supposed to be a private event. I can imagine that they don't want this crowd.
What campaign is that? This was advertised as a campaign. It's supposed to be bring all the media in and the public in to make it like a rally. Was it political and union dues?
I think that it's supposed to, the media is definitely allowed in there, but maybe it's invite only for only.
And you will be masked, Corbin, if you're going in there.
Right. Masked, and they're requiring tests or vaccine in order for media to get in.
Wow. You got all that thing.
I have all that.
All right, thanks for reporting. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Trump Carson was discovered a private, quiet appearance in Long Beach at one of the city talk. I don't understand that. I mean, Kamala Harris knew something. Looks like a big public event. They're all wasting time. And the problem is the news video spend 5, 6, 7 minutes on the news at night covering the nonsense that Kamala Harris says or Biden says or Newsom says. But no, that's not what it is. You got 20,000 business owners you could interview. Find out what happened to their lives.
20,000 of them. You've got 600,000 kids who didn't go to school. Talk to those parents. Why do you have to tell me what Kamala Harris said? Why would anybody possibly care? Why would anyone care what any of these people say when the normal people who are trying to send their kids to school or try to go to work have been shut down unnecessarily for a year and a half? Why do we play this game? Why is the media so stupid? Why are reporters and editors and producers so stubborn about this stuff? Why are you telling me what idiot politicians say? When they're Deborah Mark, why do you do that?
Hey, throw me under the bus.
Oh, yeah. Why not? We'll back it up over here. No, seriously, do you realize when we live each day in this unreal world, that's just nothing to do with people's lives? I just can't believe that every day we all do the play acting, we all do the play pretend, we all say the same thing, same cliches, same nonsense, everybody in the media. And they absolutely ignore what the average person has been going through the last year and a half.
We don't do cliches on KFI News, by the way.
I know that. There's a memo on that, right?
Exactly.
There's a whole playbook, yeah.
Yes.
All right, don't forget, we'll take your calls after 5 if you are running in the recall race for question 2 to replace Newsom. What up next is stuff on Afghanistan and the 9/11 commemorative over the weekend. That's coming up next.
Johnny King, KFI, Deborah Marquez News.
Joe April and Californians have already voted in the recall election that will determine Governor Newsom's fate. UCLA has been named the top public university in the nation by U.S. News and World Report for the 5th consecutive year. Apple is expected to unveil its new line of iPhones tomorrow. We have trouble on the 91, and we will check in with G, KFI in the sky next.
Hey, Dr. Charles Banger, Saddleback Eye Center wants to give you the all-new laser light LASIK exam if you have lousy vision. Could be nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism. You wear reading glasses, doesn't matter. Dr. Manger's laser light LASIK exam uses a laser, measures your eyes over 1,000 times, and perfectly maps your vision. You get a free exam if you're one of the first 14 KFI callers. You do the LASIK exam, and then the procedure. The procedure only takes 20 minutes. There's no pain. I went through it. No pain. You walk out of there, it's shocking. You can see everything. 20/20 or better in most cases. I'm giving you a free laser light LASIK exam now if you're one of the first 14 KFI callers. 866-559-4444. Call 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444.
USC Athletic Director Mike Bond released a statement of his decision to relieve Clay Helton of his duties as Trojans head football coach. Dante Williams will now serve as the interim head coach. Former Lakers forward Cedric Ceballos is COVID-19 free, but he still cannot breathe, walk, or function on his own. And the Dodgers begin a home series with the Diamondbacks tonight, but Kershaw will get the starting nod in his return from the injured list. I'm J.D. Happerin.
What is it that makes you uniquely you? Well, DuckDuckGo doesn't think that's any of their business. And frankly, it shouldn't be the business of any tech company. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
For the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. We have a crash on the 91 in Riverside.
The sun is along the eastbound side, and it's coming right up on Adams. That's where they've had all lanes blocked at times to try to clear this wreck. Off to the shoulder, big delay here overall flowing out of Orange County as you get away from the 57 freeway. Now let's check in with Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com, Fullerton.
Yeah, a little problem right next to the Cal State Fullerton, where it gets schooled in a little break like the 101. It looks like the 57 southbound at Brentwood Chapman. They just looked at accident to the right shoulder. However, very heavy on that stretch, a little unusual, going back to about Lambert. Northwest side of 57, not so bad on this stretch. Most of it hits you just into LA County as you leave Connor Canyon. A Cougar burns to the 60, the Diamond Bar. East 60, that's a toughie today. That's loading up with East LA Interchange most of the way to Paramount. And then once again from Hacienda over to the 57. Introducing an accident is the SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
It's a slow drive in Burbank on the 5 northbound using the 134 freeway. You remain on the brakes and stretches all the way to the 14. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentlawyer.com.
Tired of the BS? We spent $500,000 on this. Result, $8 million for registered motorcyclists.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. What comes to mind when you think of home? Hopefully it's a safe place that protects and takes care of you. And the same should be true about the water in your home. With a Light Source whole house water system, every faucet in your house becomes a convenient and safe place to enjoy filtered, delicious water. Light Source is maintenance-free. You can say goodbye to salt bags, filter changes, monthly exchange tanks. If you're tired of dealing with hard water problems, Light Source can reduce them. Light Source gets rid of the odor and taste of chlorine without using salt or chemicals. And without the drying effect of chlorine, you'll notice softer skin and hair with every bath and shower. With Light Source water, you buy a customized solution direct from the factory with installation and support. The factory has served Southern California for over 37 years, and everything is U.S. made. Call Light Source today for full service and full confidence in your water. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009, or visit lightsourcewater.com. Light Source Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Hey, Californians, it's here. Election day is tomorrow. Claim your vote in the California gubernatorial recall election and be heard. Whether by secure drop box or in person, make your vote your voice. Voting impacts the future of California. Find out more at vote.ca.gov. That's vote.ca.gov. A message from the California Secretary of State.
Wondering if you're paying too much for auto insurance? It's easy to find out at AAA.com/insurance. You could save an average of $537. So stop wondering. Start saving. Visit AAA.com/insurance for your free quote.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount and certain restrictions apply. 50% loan to value and 745 for credit score. First lien only. Different amortization. Cash out will vary. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or linked pursuant to a California financing law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender. Can you believe how much the Garcias house sold for? I know. Home values are so high right now. I wish I could pull about $50,000 from my home's equity without selling. You can. We just pulled cash from our home's equity to redo our backyard this summer. We used IntelliLoan, and get this, our monthly payments actually went down. IntelliLoan offered us a 1.875% rate and APR with no points or lender fees. Wow, 1.875% with no points and no lender fees. Hello, new pool. Take the number. It's 800-918-6200. 800-918-6200. Or just go to IntelliLoan.com. IntelliLoan. Style smart.
Join KFI and Thrill Seekers at the Afterburner Music Festival at the Pacific Air Show in Huntington Beach, October 1st and 2nd. This year's event will feature performances by Sammy Hagar and the Circle, Sam Hunt, Ex-Ambassadors, and more. Get your tickets now at AfterburnerMusicFestival.com. KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
Johnny Penn Show, John Silver and Ken Campos, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. All right, just a reminder, 505, if you are wanting to replace Gavin Newsom, we've got a couple minutes on KFI. 1-800-520-1534. It's a grab bag of about 45 people running in question to replace Newsom, if you're one of them. Well, you know somebody who is. You can call them and tell them if they call in. They'll get a couple of minutes. We'll only do it for as long if we get any calls, and we'll see. Maybe Newsom standing by to appear to Joe Biden in London. Pick us up on the answer. 9/11, of course, was commemorated over the weekend. One of the things that people were waiting to see was this 9/11 file that Joe Biden had signed an executive order to get released. It was important to the families of some of those killed on September 11th because they believe that there was information in there that might connect the Saudi government directly to some of the hijackers from that day. And the information that came out, not exactly a smoking gun, but it does show you that there was an official who worked at the Saudi consulate in Los Angeles who apparently allowed two hijackers to use his apartment and helped them travel around L.A. He was found to be an al-Qaeda facilitator by the FBI, and the Saudi consul general wanted to fire him
for distributing extremist Muslim literature. He was also a close associate of two other Saudis, a guy by the name of Omar al-Bayoumi and Fahad al-Humeri, who also helped the hijackers. So, the families have issued a statement that they believe that this is a pretty good connection to the Saudi government, because this is a Saudi employee who obviously had extremist views, and then he was connected to a couple of people that helped the hijackers. Of course, right. And this is just the stuff we know about.
We don't know all his private contacts and friends and phone calls and this and that and financing.
Yeah. Al-Humeri says they gave the hijackers money, travel assistance, and lodging. There was the Saudi officials not named, only referred to as PII.
Well, there's many in Saudi Arabia who belongs to an Islamic sect, and I forget the name off the top of my head, but they find American life, and they found it 20 years ago, and I'm sure they still do, to be so offensive, just so overwhelmingly offensive, from the rights that women have to our open, permissive, sexual society, entertainment, that it really makes them crazy. And not to mention all our military invasions and debacles. I mean, we've certainly given that part of the world plenty to live off of for the next few generations. I mean, just the idiotic performance in Afghanistan and Iraq over the last 20 years. I can see why they created probably new generations of terrorists that are going to be chasing us, for the rest of the century. I mean, we proved them right too many times. We've barged into all their lands too many times, and we've made life a lot worse and worse around.
It is believed that this unnamed Saudi consulate employee is Musaad Ahmad al-Jarrah, who has denied any involvement and apparently said that he only wanted to help, be a good Muslim, and help two new students in town in the Muslim way. He said he had his own sister move out and stay with another sister for a couple of weeks, because he was going to have, and these are the two hijackers, Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Nidar. These are the ones that were, I think they were in San Diego for a while. I think they were up in this area too, before they eventually boarded the planes on 9/11. So
they're Wahhabis, that's the stuff.
That's just the Wahhabis.
Right. Yes, Wahhabism.
Right.
I read two articles over the week, and one was in the New York Times and one was in Politico. And one was, they interviewed 15 major members of George Bush's administration. What did we do wrong in Iraq and Afghanistan, right? And if you were alive and you kept track of the news back then, you'd recognize most of them. And now they're all these old sad sacks, and they're saying, yeah, we screwed up on this, and we screwed up on that, and we screwed up, this, and boy, we lost a lot of lives on that, and I had to waste some money. And basically they admitted that from top to bottom, the Bush administration just was absurdly incompetent in Afghanistan and Iraq. Every decision he made was the wrong decision. He wasted a lot of money. There's just a lot of arrogance. There was a lot of, there's no point we acted from 40 years ago. But the point I want to make is, at the time, if you watch the news, it was rah-rah this and rah-rah that, and we're all Americans, and great patriotism, and what a speech he gave, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Behind the scenes now, 20 years later, and by the way, all these guys have great soft language, right? After they left the Bush administration, they became lawyers and lobbyists and corporate executives, and they're all making 6 and 7 figures. They're all doing great. But while they were in government, they just ruined a big chunk of the Middle East. Second story was about the EPA telling